One of my favorite things to do, I was going to say during the winter, but it's pretty much year-round, is to read. I've always been a voracious reader. When I was young, I was reading all the time. I read my way through life. I was an English major in college just so I could read more. And I've just always enjoyed reading. I kind of got away from reading for a while, but I'm back reading again. And that's just my favorite thing to do. So when I was younger, the only place you could really get books, there were three places: the library, a regular bookstore, or a used bookstore. And that's where you could get books. Now there are so many more ways to get free and low-cost books that no matter how much you read, there's always something out there for you. One way that I get low-cost books is through my Kindle Unlimited subscription. I believe it's like $12 a month, and you have access to 4 million books on Amazon. As many as you want. You could read 10 books a day and it's fine. Not all books are available on Kindle Unlimited. I mean, 4 million is a lot to get through, but there are a lot of books which aren't available. And I've noticed sometimes really good authors, they'll put one on Kindle Unlimited and then the rest you have to purchase full price, or either for a hard copy or for the Kindle. But there certainly are enough books on Kindle Unlimited that you could just read for the rest of your life and never run out of books. You don't need a Kindle to read on Kindle Unlimited. I mean, you can download it on your phone and read things on your phone. I have it on my computer. I could read it on my computer, but I did get Amazon Fire tablet. It was really cheap. I think it was a refurbished one. It was like, I think $50 or something like that. All it's really good for is the Kindle. I mean, the internet's like, okay, but it was a cheap one and it's good enough for me. I mean, the size is great. Look at the size of this. I really like this. This is so handy when you're traveling, and I like to, go places, and sometimes I'm sitting at an airport, or if I'm just sitting at home, or if I'm waiting in my car for something. I have like multiple books here in this tiny little thing. I just really love it. Plus it's backlit, so if you're in a low light situation or something, you can read perfectly fine. I really love it, and I recommend it if you love to read. But if you're a hard copy sort of person, there's plenty of resources too. One of them is Little Free Libraries. I don't know if you've heard of those. I think the URL for that is Little Free Library or littlefreelibraries.org. And those are little cabinets on a post, which are all over the place. Just about every town has at least one or two little free libraries, and the cabinets are closed with, little windowed doors. You can open up, and people drop books off there, and people take books and drop them off and take them. It's like a library. You can return the books you got there, or you can just pass them on because there's always books to replace them. I know there's a couple places where I go regularly, like to visit my children or certain friends, and I know the location of all the little free libraries there. So if I'm short on reading material, I might just drive by one and see what's going on in there. This is actually an organization, and they have a website, and you can go and go to your area or zip code, and it will direct you to where the little free libraries are located. I guess everyone registers their little free library, usually in front of homes. It's just great, especially if you don't have a book and you're just wandering around, you need a book to read. Just go to a little free library 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and see what you can find in there. I've gotten some really good books in there. Just all sorts of interesting things, that other people have read and enjoyed or not enjoyed. But what's nice about the little free libraries, there's a whole bunch of variety because everyone has a different idea of what a good book is. I've started doing a lot of trading back and forth with friends and family members, and we kind of know each other's tastes at this point. And so if I find a good book, I'll pass it on, and if they find a good book, they'll pass it on to me. I have a friend here in town whom, we pass books back and forth all the time, and it's just really, really fun. I was given a birthday present this year, and I was told as soon as I finished reading it, I needed to return it because the person who gave it to me wanted to read it too. I did that with great pleasure. So she has it, she has it back. I enjoyed the book immensely, and I know she will too. And then there's at least 2 more people after her who want to read it. So I guess I had that book was its own little free library. So it is fun. If you know what people like and you see something, even if you don't read it yourself, you know, it's nice to kind of find that and bring it. There was this book I saw the other day, Nora Roberts. I don't read this sort of book, but I have a friend who has a whole pile of Nora Roberts books, and I know she loves them. So I just took a picture of the title and texted this to her and asked her if she had it. And if she doesn't, then I'll bring it to her next time I see it. Just be sure if somebody loans you a book from their private library to return it. It's one thing to give somebody some books and just pass it along. It's another thing if somebody loans you a book because you're interested in reading it and then it comes from their private library and you don't return that. That's really bad. Thrift stores are also a good place. There's a thrift store in town which sells paperbacks for 25 cents each. So the friend and I who trade books here in town, she buys a lot of her books there. So 25 cents, I mean, $1 you'll get 4 books. And so she gets a lot of her books there. It's a great place to just pick up cheap reads. And no matter where you are, there's always going to be a used bookstore or thrift store at this point that would probably have something. There was one big thrift cooperative in the town over a couple of towns, and before the pandemic, it was one of those co-ops where everyone had like a little area to sell their stuff, like a lot of mini stores in this flea market. But in the middle, there was this sort of open space and just piles of books and bookshelves full of books, and the books there were absolutely free. They just wanted you to take them. I found that at the senior center, there are also lots of free books. They have several tall bookshelves, they have a couple short bookshelves, and they have boxes. So I'll go there and get a bunch of books. I'll see what's there. I'll take some out. The Nora Roberts book I found there. And then again, with those books, I'll read them and I'll either pass them on, or if I don't know if anyone would like them, I bring them back. Maybe somebody would like them at the senior center. I seem to be the only person who's ever there looking at the books. I don't know if people read as much as I do, at least anymore, but I do enjoy looking through there and finding little gems, and it's just a really nice place to find books. You can also get books at the library without ever going to the library. So if the library hours do not work for you, or the library is closed, like we have library closures during the holidays, and you know it's closed I think 2 or 3 days a week it's closed, and just sometimes it's just closed, and the hours, I think it's like from 10 to 5, so if you're at work or something, you might not be able to get to the library. However, my library, I'm sure a lot of other libraries have these 2 phone apps. One's called Hoopla and one's called Libby, and you can read books online. So you can check out a virtual book and read it, and then you return it, and you can get them in a book copy thing that you can read on your phone or on your computer. And I even downloaded I think at least one of those apps, maybe both apps, onto this, so I can read books on here too. They also have audiobooks and children's books, and some have magazines. It's also a great resource, hundreds and hundreds of books. As a matter of fact, I was in a cafe earlier, I guess last week or something, and I saw this book that looked really good. It was called Pale Rider, and it was about the Spanish-American flu of 1918, and it looked extremely compelling, considering especially since we have just gone through our own pandemic of sort of equal weight. So I looked at the price and I thought, oh, I really don't know if I can do this, and what if I don't like the book, blah, blah, blah. So I went on to the library website and I found the book in audio format. So I'm listening to it right now, and it's just as excellent as I thought it would be. And as a matter of fact, if it's so great by the time I finish it, that I might actually go buy the book, because it's just amazing. It's amazing. I have done some other audiobooks there. I listened to Alice in Wonderland, the whole thing, the original one by Lewis Carroll last year when I was preparing for Grandma Sandy's Alice in Wonderland month. I wanted to do something for Alice in Wonderland, but I couldn't remember all the details of the story. I also listened to this book called Stranger in the Woods, about this guy who just disappeared and lived in the woods for 20 years, and that was real great audio version. And what I like about the audio versions is they download the book, so it doesn't matter if you have internet access or not, which is so great for me because when I drive around the county or I leave the county, it's usually a long way to go. I'm usually in the car at least 35 to 40 minutes, and sometimes there's no reception, but the book still comes through. So that's also a way to get books. And if you do go to the library, and you can go to the library, most libraries have a bigger system. So if you can't find the book you want, if you specifically know the book you want, or you want to like read more by the same author and they might not have it at your library at that time, usually there's sort of a between library borrowing system. So, you know, you can just reserve the book and they'll let you know when it comes and there's your book. So that's how I get enough books to keep my obsession going. I read fast, I read a lot, and it's really nice to have this network of friends I can trade books with, a network of online resources and resources in town. I'm never at a loss for books. So if you like to read and you know of other ways to acquire books, which are either free or low cost, do tell. Happy reading, and thank you so much for watching.